This video is for Unit 2 AP Statistics, and it is Example 2 in our notes. So I'm just going to talk you through this. Obviously, I've already got it filled in, so I'm just going to explain why my answers are what they are. So if you need to pause this and read the problem, just go ahead and make sure that you do that. So on Part A, we're being asked to describe the relationship between arm span and height. And as you can clearly see, height is my response variable and arm span is my explanatory variable. So if I'm going to describe this, I'm going to use my cute little device here to remember this. So I want to talk about shape, unusual features, the direction, and the strength. So that is what I'm going to do. So as you can see, we've got some ordered pairs over here, and you can kind of see they're trending in the positive direction, and they're somewhat linear. So I am going to just indicate that there is a moderately strong, positive, linear relationship between arm span and height. And it looks like this little guy right here might be a bit of an outlier, so I'm just going to comment on that. So I write here with an apparent outlier at 191.195, 191, 195. All right, so have I addressed everything? Well, did I talk about shape? Well, I said it was linear, so yes, I did. Did I talk about unusual features? Yes, I did. I think there's an outlier. It looks like an outlier. That's what I'm going with. Direction, it is a positive. It's in the positive direction. And, of course, the strength. Well, I'm calling this moderately strong because if you'll notice, these aren't horribly tightly packed, but they're also not unpacked. There's a lot here down here that are really close together. So I'm going to go with moderately strong. So let's see if I'm right. Part B, the correlation between arm span and height is 0.647. Okay, I was right. So it's not super strong. It's not really above 0.7, but it's clearly above 0.5. So it's going to have a moderate strength. So I was right about that. So when we interpret our correlation, remember that correlation only addresses direction and it only addresses strength. So since I've got a 0.647 here, I'm going to say there's a moderately strong, and then there's my direction, it's positive. So there's a moderately strong positive association between arm span and height. So if you'll notice, this is a lot like what I said up here. I'm just not addressing the shape because correlation doesn't address the shape, nor does it address unusual features. All right, the last part here, part C, does the relationship between arm span and height indicate that an increase in arm span will cause height to increase? Let's explain. Well, this idea of causation should be a giveaway that this is not what is happening. Just because there's a positive linear association between arm span and height does not indicate that we have causation. So just because we have an association does not imply that we have causation. So please be careful about that. A lot of students fall into that trap of thinking, oh, this is causation, this is causing this to happen. No, arm span is not causing your height to be bigger or more. Okay, that is not what is happening here. There's just a relationship between arm span and height. Could it be useful for predicting height based on arm span? Absolutely, but it is not, arm span is not causing height.